Today we study about the functions of blood. Here, I already mentioned here 9 functions of the blood. The first function of blood is the prevention of desiccation. That blood can contain the water. So due to presence of the water, they can prevent the desiccation. So blood cells or any parts of the blood can't get dry. So this is the main function of prevention of blood desiccation. Second one is the transport of the food. You know that when food is consumption, the food is digesting in the intestine. The digested food is getting absorbed through the blood, and that food is then transporting throughout the body. This is the second main function, is the transport of food is also done by the blood. Then third function is the transport of the respiratory gases. You know that in the blood there is the presence of the RBC, WBC, then blood platelets, as well as plasma. You know that the main function of the RBC is transport of the O2 and the CO2. So the O2 is transporting from lung to the tissue. Is done by the RBC. That O2 can combine with the hemoglobin of the RBC and forms the oxyhemoglobin, and then O2 is transmitting from lung to tissue, and from tissue the CO2 is formed. That CO2 comes again back to the lung by the RBC also. That is formation of the carboxyhemoglobin. This is also the transport of O2 and CO2 also done by the blood. Then fourth function is transport of the hormones. You know that hormones are secreting from the endocrine glands, as well as it is also called as the ductless gland. That secretion of the hormones from ductless gland is directly poured into the blood, and which is also transferring through the blood to the respective organs, and then that respective organs is worked there. So this is also the main function, transport of the hormone. Then next one, the respective function is the transport of the waste product. You know that in the body there is formation of the waste products. That waste products are get filtered. That the blood is filtered actually in the kidney. In kidney, the filtration of blood takes place, and there is the separation of the waste materials, that is ammonia, urea, uric acid, and that is transporting outside the body from the kidney. So this is also transporting of the waste products also done by the blood. Next function is the regulation of the body temperature. You know that the temperature of the body of the human is how much? 37 degrees Celsius. And if any part becomes active, that temperature is increases, and other part is where is inactive, which becomes with their temperature becomes the less. So due to circulation of the blood, they can maintain the body temperature is the constant. Is how much? 37 degrees Celsius is also maintained by the blood. Next function is the defense against pathogens. You know that in the blood presence of the WBC, and WBC is the soldier cells. They can attack on the pathogens which are entered into the blood, so which can increase the immune power of the body. So this is also done by the blood. Next one is the maintenance of the pH. You know that the pH of blood is also maintained by the blood. So blood is consisting the proteins, and that proteins which can doing the action of the buffer, and due to that they can maintain the pH of the blood. And last mention here is the prevention of blood loss. You know that in the blood presence of the platelets, as well as it can contain the fibrinogen proteins, prothrombin proteins, and the platelets, prothrombin and fibrinogen proteins are take part in the coagulation of blood or the clotting of blood. If any wound is formed, the blood is get clotted due to this fibrinogen and prothrombin proteins and the platelets. So ultimately, blood can't get lost from the